Guys, how you doing? Ugo here, aka Mr. Tickzon, aka Ugo from Tickzon Mentorshipscheme and other endeavors. You may see me out here in the community, just trying to help people out here. And this is day 2 of the 99 days of value. So essentially, the 99 days running up to the first day of 2023 into the new year, we're going to be adding you guys, hopefully giving you guys and hopefully adding, giving and adding, hopefully, because, it might give you value, but it doesn't necessarily add value, but hopefully it does for the majority of you, a piece of information that should add value to your life every single day. Now, like we said in the first one, in this life, you're going to get a lot of advice, and ultimately the biggest problem you're going to have after seeking knowledge, advice, or value is to how to discern on when you need to use this, for example. But this one is also something similar to day 1, which is kind of universally used at any point in time in your life. So for today 2 of 99 days of value, we're going to be here every day, is majority, if not all, of your personal goals are also financial goals. And in turn, it also kind of says that when you have financial problems, sometimes it's also a result of, personal problems, personal choices, or also the way you actually be living your life personally in that sense. So what do I mean by and majority, if not all, of your personal goals are also financial goals? Because sometimes you don't really necessarily see it that way. So it's like, I want to take a year off of work. I want to travel the world. I just want to do nothing. I just want to help people out. I just want to support my community. I just want to go and volunteer. I just want to go and sleep. I want to just go and change the world. Regardless of what that goal is, there's also a financial component. Even if it's to chill with your friends sometimes, there's also some level of financial component. So for example, if you say you just want to stay at home and you won't pay rent or something like that, your parents will still end up flipping the bill for your food, for your your leisure, because you're still going to have to see friends. If you're going to volunteer, whether it's the government or people donating, whether it's you just want to sleep, if you're sleeping and you're not earning any money, somebody's flipping the bill for that. And so in turn, with understanding your personal goals are also financial goals. Whether it's you want to get married, you got to think about the ring and family. You want to have 5, 7, 1 kid. It's a similar thing. All of your goals, there's also a financial component to it. And even though I know it's a kind of a bummer to kind of say that and people don't necessarily like it, it's just kind of an understanding of how, I guess, the world works and how we kind of have to process things in order to achieve our goals. And also, in turn, understanding that your personal goals are also financial goals, it also helps you to put things in perspective in terms of what you can actually achieve and where you are. So if your personal goals is to earn a home, but you don't really have up to, like, let's say 1K in savings, for example, at this point in time, and you're very much a very low income worker, then at this point in time that it's going to struggle to meet that right now, especially in the way the economy is now. So that personal goal versus like where it being the financial goal, it now allows you to see where your personal goal is, your financial goal, and see what you need to make up to do that. And it also helps you put things in perspective. But more importantly, understand that your personal goals are also financial goals. Kind of like a bonus tip to understand is that your personal life is also reflected in your financial life. So I can tell what you prioritize and what's important to you by how you spend your time and your money, essentially. Those are your 2 main components that express how you want to live your life. And so if you understand that, this is important to me, but versus this is what I want in terms of a personal goal, in terms of this is what I want to achieve. But you don't necessarily think about a financial goal for you to achieve it. So sometimes this causes kind of a disparity in terms of how we kind of live our day-to-day and how that kind of marries up. So we have a personal goal to own a home, but our day-to-day personal life, we're not necessarily saving. We still want to get the home. We're not necessarily saving. We're not necessarily cutting down our expenditure. We're not necessarily taking control of the things we can control. And so when it comes to a point where we're now looking at, we've not achieved this, we kind of give ourselves unnecessary anxiety because we didn't marry up where our personal life in terms of expressing in terms of our finances, and how that reflects in us to achieve our goals. Now, people don't like setting a goal, and obviously this kind of leads into the way to kind of get everything in control between your personal goals and your financial goals, similar with your personal life and your finance life, is ultimately to budget. Now, people don't like the word budget because it feels, a bit conscriptive. It feels a bit restrictive, and kind of like, it seems like we're adding 3 pieces of value in every video here. But what you don't know, for majority of you, pretty much everybody has a budget. Even if you don't realize it, you have a budget. So when I say that what's important to you is reflected in how you spend your money and your time, is that most of us spend it similarly, in a similar fashion, month by month. And so if you kind of take yourself back to the previous month and the last 2 months and the last 3 months, you can kind of see a similar pattern. So you kind of have a budget. Your budget is just essentially how you spend your money or how you plan your time. And so similarly, in terms of budgeting your money and getting your money in order, it also makes you budget your time, because let's say you need to save more money, then maybe you need to change the way you do things. And on the personal life side, maybe you stop driving so much so because of the cost of fuel and take the train. But then again, is you driving going to save you half an hour versus what that time could be valued to you? So it's also about balancing how you kind of make the adjustments for time and money in order for you to kind of achieve those personal goals, because you have to understand that there is also a financial component to it. And so understanding that you do have a budget, irregardless, like if you go to the last 3 months of statements, you understand that you have a budget. Now, when it now you having a budget and you making a budget are kind of 2 different things. When you make a budget, you are in control of the budget. You're in control of the of your how you spend, and it's almost at that point in time, it's a plan of attack. It's a battle plan. This is what you're trying to do to get from where you are in terms of your personal life and your financial life right now into where your personal goals and your personal life, your financial goals want to be. And so having a budget and doing those things helps you marries up where your personal goals are and where your financial goals are, and mix that up. Now, when I say personal goals and any personal goal, I'm talking family, kids, job, new job, traveling, buying, helping somebody out, charity. You need to kind of earn either you earn more to give more, or you spend less to give more. There's always a component of adjustment that you have to make into your personal life in order to kind of achieve the personal goals that you want. Now, goals are very important, but ultimately, when you look at your personal goals and understand that they're also financial goals, and break it down in terms of how can my finances reach this, but also in terms of, like we've said, that your personal life is reflecting your financial life. What changes do I have to make in my personal life in order to increase, my how my navigation within my financial life? What's my priorities? Is saving my priorities, spending my priorities, enjoyment my priority, staying happy my priority, mental well-being, eating well, sleeping well. Is all those things, important? Because again, when I say your personal life is reflected in your financial life, it's like, okay, I'm spending so much in Ubers. Well, some people think that's the problem. There is an Uber problem. I'm spending too much in Ubers. When 9 times out of 10, it's like maybe I don't like public transport, or I'm leaving it too late, or my time management is not that great that I don't leave 20 minutes earlier to be able to catch the train, which I would have paid, let's say, £4.50 to get there. Yes, I would have been on the train, but now I'm spending £20 round trip. It's an adjustment in terms of time management. I'm skipping breakfast and I'm always hungry throughout the day. Am I sleeping on time to wake up early enough to eat? And so understanding that your personal life is reflecting your financial life, and ultimately your personal goals are also financial goals. And so in terms of long-term thinking and short-term action, they kind of marry together. And the way to kind of link those 2 together is kind of budgeting. And I mean budgeting your money, but also budgeting your time, budgeting how you spend your time and divvy up your time to achieve balance, whether that be making sure that you're seeing friends, making sure that you're working efficiently, making sure that you're sleeping well, eating well, trying to exercise, doing all the things that are important to you, having a hobby, making time for everything that kind of gives you balance, that you're fortifying yourself mentally, but also financially, and in a way that helps you to get to your goals. Because when you don't understand that your personal goals are also financial goals, and understand that when you look at them here and what you're doing now in terms of your personal life, matching up with your financial life, you understand that there's a shift change that has to be achieved today, so that you don't end up, not achieving where you want to be. Because ultimately, success is little things done consistently over time, but ultimately the success criteria is based on where you kind of put your potential or whatever you want to achieve. Now, when you reflect on it and you now reflect where those goals are, where you are, how much you can save, how much you can navigate. There's a limit to how much you can save, and in the current position you are, there's a limit how you can earn. There's limits to a lot of things, but where you have control is where you should start off. And then that way you can now say, okay, am I going to readjust these goals? Is it, okay, instead of buying a home in a year, can I buy it in 5 years? Instead of buying a car, in 5 years, can I buy it in 2 years? How do I adjust those things so that we don't end up getting ourselves disappointed, frustrated that we're not achieving where we are? Because sometimes we're running before we walk, and for some of you, you're walking when you have the ability to run. So ultimately, guys, this has been day 2 of the 99 Days of Value. My name has been Mr. Tickzon. Tickzon basically means that we're all more than one thing, but I'll explain that one in another day. Maybe it'll be a day of value for you to understand what Tickzon means fully and truly. But ultimately, your personal goals are also financial goals, and ultimately, your personal life is also reflected in how you spend your financial life. So, take control of what you can take control of, and then, once you can deal with everything you can control, then you have time to deal with things you're not able to control. So hopefully, this added some value into your life today, and I wish you a lovely day, and I hope to see you guys tomorrow for day 3. So yeah, we're going strong. 99 Days of Value. We'll see you there, and yeah, the year's almost over. 97 to go.